Homeless working a job at 50 to get out of debt from being a digital nomad. Um, let's check it out.
So day two here of the jobby job. Feeling pumped up, ready to go. It is a hard day's work, that's for sure. People ask me why I talk about the job ending. It's very real. The turnover is real. There's a big shakeup going on in the company. The owners are there. Of course, very cliquey, but it could end any shift without a doubt. And I don't really want to go into detail, but it's pretty good pay for a good day's work.
I feel like a lot of companies are doing this too. They're doing this currently at my job. Although I am looking for another job, which I already kind of figured out, but I feel like I should have already had what I should have had. So it's like I don't want to quit until I get but it's like at some point, I don't know, man. I don't know about this economy. It's like I had things planned out, but it never goes to plan. So it's like you're just stuck in this weird loop. But yeah, either way, at my job, they're talking about, oh, they're bringing in some top dude and he's gonna be trying to fire people and all this stuff, dude. That's why I'm like, dude, I'm positioning myself to never have to work again. I mean, that's what I was already doing, but I'm really delving down into this. Like, I got everything set up. I got a bunch of food I store now. Trying to really cut back on any of my grocery bills and really just buying snacks, but work is so stressful. I just buy snacks just to make it through the day. But either way, I'm ready for whatever's coming.
And actually, I'll probably release a vlog about it if it ends good or bad, because it could end. I end it or the place end it for sure. I may get one warning, I don't know, but I've seen it end. So we'll see what happens. I need to continue. If you follow the vlog, I've been using Grok to work on a strategy for every payment that comes through, where to apply it to pay back the credit card. There's just one that I'm using that is clipped in half, but I can use it from my phone.
I'm no longer using my credit cards. This will be probably the last month only because I have some things in there that like automatically come out. So I don't feel like dealing with it right now. I'm lazy right now. But I figured out everything else. Everything is only coming out of my debit cards now, and bank accounts and whatnot because, dude, I'm no longer using credit cards. I'm literally just going to get rid of them. I have so many, but it's like, they're just too tempting and I don't know, man. I'm just tired of playing this game, man. I promise you, 2 years ago, I was sure that I would have been loaded by now. At the halving, I was sure that I was going to be loaded by now. It's like I'm sitting on so much assets, but they're not doing anything. It's like pissing me off. And it's like, in one hand, I know most people don't have assets, so I'm in a lucky position. But I'm just saying, it's like, in one hand, I'm working my ass off. And then it's like, in my head, I'm like, I'm one night away from being on a beach somewhere. And it just pisses me off. And I don't know, man. It's just tired of dealing with corporations and their BS, and I don't even want to chase money anymore. I'm totally, although I do, obviously, I have enough money now where, like, I'm okay with making small amounts of money just as long as I can have my freedom. I don't want to be the CEO of the company or I mean, that's cool, but I just don't want to be at work like that. And I don't want to be tied in anymore, at least.
That's almost what kept me from getting the place that I got. However, I was able to generate a virtual card and they were totally cool with that. At the tune of 3% transaction fee, $9. They're like, we can auto charge it. I was like, no, thank you. I do have something very crazy in mind. Van life, very similar to nomad, digital nomad life. There's definitely some benefits, but the negatives are pretty hidden.
I know for me, I have tried van life before. Dude, it is not easy. You know, if you're thinking about van life and thinking it's gonna be sweet, on paper, yes, man, but this is one thing you will find. You will find sometimes you don't want to be in a minivan, but you also don't want to be outside, you know? Like sometimes you want to be in like a home, you know? And that really starts to wane on you. Maybe that could be solved with every few nights occasionally getting a hotel. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. And then you gotta think it's not as easy as you think to have your van or whatever you're in to be cold and then to be hot. That is very serious and it's not as easy as you think it would be. And on top of that, finding a place to park, put your stuff, I guess basically park, right? It's not as easy as you think it would be, especially when you're trying to relax. If I was going to do van life again, I would work overnights and then I would sleep during the day. And then I would find, at least in my area, there's a Walmart that you can go underground and I would maybe sleep there during the day. But trying to find a place to sleep like at night is not as easy as you think. Cops will harass you. There's not many places. I don't know. There's a lot of weird things that you wouldn't expect.
Just like the van lifer thing, I get a lot of emails about this. Not a great deal. I mean, another subscriber, wants to do car camping. I guess if you have a place to live and you want to just avoid the cost of, hotels, which is pretty outrageous. Many have commented that the $300 a week is cheap. I could see that a little bit, right? Because it was kind of the same thing I faced with renting an apartment. It didn't seem to be maybe I might get one at 8, but I'd have to get internet, have to pay the electric, so it's going to be over $1,000 anyway. And it's furnished, so that gives me,
That is true. I was gonna say, that's not great either though. It's okay to stay at a hotel. I had to do it plenty of times, in the past, but it's just not a great, honestly. And even then, I'm telling you, when things take off, I'm gonna buy me a small house, and I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna try to find the cheapest house that is structurally sound. And with that, I'll be able to dodge rent. Of course, I have property taxes, but they'll be extremely low. And I'll just live my life, man. And then when I'm ready to build a family, I'll look for a bigger home. But being strapped for rent, especially in this time, man, all this BS they charge us for no reason. Realistically, there really should be no reason that apartments are this expensive. There really should be no reason. But welcome to America.
A little bit of help. I'm not excited about these weekly things. I took my stuff out of it. I still feel like chances of a room being burglarized is probably pretty low, but it's still sketchy as F. And where I work, parking is secured. No one's going in there. Yesterday went pretty smoothly. Overall, long day. I was able to balance it even with my internet stuff, which is difficult. Even working in Asia, as many nomads talk about, it was definitely a disadvantage for it to be the middle of the night. I'm not a night person. I would regularly stay up till maybe 1 in the morning, which would be 1 in the afternoon in New York. And then, of course, most of my clients are on the West Coast, so we're talking about 9, 10 a.m. I'd be ready to call it a night and give up a huge chunk of the...
This isn't something he's talked about, but I feel like it is, I guess, good to say. I feel like we all have so much brain fog, right? Don't you see this guy? I feel like he can't, like, he's not thinking clearly, like, it's taking him forever to get his ideas off, and I feel like this is how they want us. They want us, like, mentally fried and it's not even, we're aware of what's going on, but they just want us to, like, kind of ignore it, right? And be in this weird bubble where we're not paying attention to stuff, and we're like clueless. And it's not our fault, they throw so much, like, nonsense at us that, like, literally you would have to spend all your time chasing the truth to figure it out. But I don't know, man. It's like they're just like they're creating zombies. People just go to work, stand in line, go home, drink, go back to work, and buy the latest gadget that they say is important. This world is crazy, man.
The meat of the day where most are awake. I would wake up early, but it would still be afternoon. People would be looking to wind down versus jump into business stuff. Big disadvantage. Also, immigration gets quite old. Probably be a lot better with a long-term visa in some of these places, but places like Thailand want you to have the DTV visa. They want you to do it. That's why they offer it and have loose terms. but you pay, and many don't have a problem paying, and I didn't. And but if you follow along on the videos, there are definitely some times I left money on the table, leaving early. Um, but mostly my point is, just basically deceptive in how much money you're saving. Plus, you get more adapted to that economy. Things were cheap in the Philippines. Things were definitely cheap in Chiang Mai. Over there in Vietnam,
I think the real truth is that people cannot fight this inflation. It is too sticky. It's too insane. And I feel like the people, right, the people in their 50s are starting to realize that they may never retire. And I feel like that is like the first set of people that are going to experience what it's like. I mean, there are already older people working because they believed in the system and it just didn't work out. But I think now people are really starting to wake up to the fact that you're never going to be able to retire, essentially. Now, if you know what to do, you won't have to retire. I mean, you won't have to work till you're. But what are the parents going to teach the kids? The parents don't know. So what are they going to teach the kids, even if they have a chance? So it's just like, I don't know what to tell people anymore. I wish this guy well, but I feel like his brain is too fogged to figure this out. And I feel like maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Because we're just talking about surviving, let alone having a good life, building. I don't know what the answer is. But this is the system we're in for some reason. For some reason, this all makes sense. And everything's fine. And everything's super stable. I'm telling you, man. It's going to be the R word. And then people are going to be shocked when people do something about this. And then they're like, oh my God, people are freaking out. Yeah, dude. What's the point, dude? You know what? That's the crazy thing, right? They're trying to make everybody homeless. And then they're making homeless an arrestable offense. So people are going to be like, dude, if you try to make me homeless, I might as well go crazy because I'm going to jail anyways, right? See you guys next video, man. Peace.